Chapter 5 The Tempest. O Father, if you have, by your power, raised this tempest, please put an end to it. The cries of the drowning sailors break my heart. Do not be afraid. Not a single person shall perish. As for the storm, I have raised it for your sake, my beloved daughter. Prospero and his daughter Miranda lived on a lonely island in the sea. They had come to the island 12 years ago when Miranda was 3 years old. The only other human being Miranda has seen was their servant, Caliban, the son of a witch named Sycorax. Caliban looked more like a fish than a man. Prospero had another servant, a spirit named Ariel. Sycorax had imprisoned Ariel in the heart of a pine tree. She died without releasing him. Prospero, on his arrival on the island, found him and released him. As a result, Ariel became Prospero's faithful servant and carried out his master's wishes. He was the one who had caused the storm at the sea. Oh, Father, it's so sad that so many people drowned in the storm. Don't be upset, my child. No damage was done to anyone in the storm. You were only 3 years old when we came here. Do you remember anything of your life before this? A little, Father. Did we not live in a big palace with many servants? 12 years ago, I was the Duke of the Milan. My chief aim in life was to acquire knowledge. Wealth and worldly possessions were not relevant to me. I devoted all my time to secret studies and left the management of state affairs to my brother Antonio. I did not doubt his loyalty at all, but he became greedy for power and possessions. He bribed my ministers and plotted against me with my enemy, the King of Naples. One dark night, their soldiers took me out of my palace, with you crying in my arm. They did not dare to kill us openly, so they put us on an old and damaged ship that could hardly float and left us to die. A kind old lord named Gonzalo was not in favor of Antonio's plot. He secretly stored the ship with fresh water, food, clothes, and my precious books. Driven by favorable winds, we floated to this lonely island. But what is your reason for raising this tempest? Fortune has now begun to favor me. The tempest has brought all my enemies to this island. They are in the ship you saw. For the present, it is enough for you to know that much. So saying, Prospero touched Miranda gently with his magic wand, and she fell asleep. Come, my Ariel, come. Here I am, master. I am ready to go wherever you ask me to go, and to do whatever you want. Have you performed the task I gave you? Yes, master. I have done everything just as you commanded me. I attacked the ship with storm, fire, and thunder. The sailors were in despair. Not a single person in the ship kept calm. The king's son, Ferdinand, leapt into the sea. Now he is sitting sadly in a corner of the island, thinking that his father has drowned. In another part of the island, the king, your brother, and others are looking for Ferdinand, who they fear has also drowned. As for the ship, I have brought it safely to the harbor. Well, we have to do some important work between now and evening. More work? Sir, let me remind you of the promise you gave me, to give me my freedom. What? How dare you to ask for freedom before everything is done? Do I have to remind you how I released you from the pine tree? I'm sorry, master. I will obey you willingly. Good. After 2 days, I will set you free. Meanwhile, carry out your task with a good heart. Turn yourself into a water nymph, invisible to everyone but me. Bring Ferdinand to me. Then Prospero told him what he should do. Away went Ariel happily to the place where Ferdinand sat weeping over his father's death. Remaining invisible, Ariel sang and led Ferdinand to Prospero and Miranda. Seeing Miranda, Ferdinand thought that she was the goddess of the island of wonders, and it was her strange sounding song that he heard a while back. What is that, father? Is it a spirit? It has a noble and beautiful appearance. No, my child. He is a human like us. He was in the shipwreck, and now he is looking for his friends. Miranda, who had never seen anyone but her father and Caliban, was wonderstruck by Ferdinand. Sir, I am no goddess, but a simple girl. Prospero was very happy to find that the two young people had fallen in love with each other at first sight. But to test Miranda and Ferdinand's love, Prospero pretended to think he was a spy. He spoke to him roughly. Come along, young man. You are a spy who has come to steal this island from me. You are now my prisoner. Ferdinand tried to resist and drew his sword, but waving his wand, Prospero fixed him to the spot by the power of his magic. Miranda begged her father to spare Ferdinand. Please do not treat him like that, father. He cannot be a spy. Someone as handsome as him cannot be evil. Silence. Are you trying to teach me? Perhaps you think he is the most beautiful person on earth because you have seen only Caliban and me. Compared to Caliban, he seems handsome enough, but compared to other men, he is a Caliban. Then my desires are most humble, father. I do not wish to see a more handsome person. My misfortunes and this unkind treatment would all be nothing to me if, from my prison window, I could see this girl once a day. Prospero set him on the task of piling up heavy logs. Miranda sneaked out of her room to see him at work, and her presence made his labor seem light to him. Sir, please sit down and rest a little. I will carry your logs in the meantime. My father is busy in his studies. He will not trouble us for the next 3 hours. No, my precious creature, I cannot let you do that. Ferdinand and Miranda soon started talking. This did not help the work of piling up logs. Prospero decided not to test Ferdinand further and soon released him from his hard task. The trials you have undergone were a test of your love. As your reward, I give you my daughter, who is my most precious possession. My blessings are with you both. In another part of the island, Ariel puts inviting food before the king of Naples and Antonio. But when they try to eat it, it disappears suddenly. You are two men guilty before God and man. Think of your evil deed. Remember how cruelly you treated Prospero and his innocent child. It was a terrible crime. All that you have undergone is God's punishment for your crime. If you do not sincerely repent for all your evil deeds, there is worse in store for you. Ariel disappears as he had appeared. Now that they have sincerely repented, we need not punish them further. Go, get them here. Ariel led the king and others to the place where Prospero was staying. The king agreed to restore the dukedom to Prospero. Prospero, on his part, forgave the king. The king told Prospero how they had been shipwrecked and how he had lost his son Ferdinand. How I wish they were both alive to be king and queen of Naples. Prospero took the party into his cave and showed them Ferdinand and Miranda, who were happily playing chess. Oh, wonderful! So many great people are here. How beautiful mankind is. The king gave his consent to the marriage of Miranda and Ferdinand. Prospero broke his magic wand and buried his books of magic because he had no further use for them. He set Ariel free as promised. Prospero and party sailed to Naples, leaving Caliban in possession of the island. Ariel helped them with favorable wind. That was his last service to his master.